Welcome to Advertising 101. My name is Patricia McClellan Terrell. I write under the pen name PM Terrell, and this video is being brought to you by thenovelbusiness.com. Most authors will market their books at one time or another through free posts or tweets. But have you ever wondered whether paid advertising is worth the investment? Or have you been advertising but you've had hit or miss results? Well, the first thing that you'll want to do is determine your goals. Are you trying to raise more awareness of yourself as an author or of a specific book? Or are you trying to gain more website visitors? Do you want more engagement for your post, for example? Things like comments, retweets, shares, likes. Are you looking for more followers, either followers on a specific social media platform or followers of your blog? Or are you trying to build an email address list or build a snail mail address list? Of course, the bottom line is that we all want to sell more books. But most buyers go through what's called the sales funnel. Most people will not purchase your book as an immediate impulse buy, but they will do something else first, such as follow your website or visit it, follow your blog, follow you on social media, or enter their email address for future newsletters. Once they're in that sales funnel, then you have a much better chance of selling them your book. Before you begin any advertising campaign, you want to make sure that you've determined who your target market is, and never make the mistake of saying everybody is going to like my book, because everybody won't. Not even New York Times best-selling books appeal to everyone out there. So determine who your perfect reader is. Are they male or female? What age range are they? What countries do they live in? Or specifically, what countries do you not want to target? Or are you targeting specific regions, perhaps an area of the country or a region that encompasses several countries, such as Latin America or Western Europe? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? Then look at past performance of your free posts. Those things that you've posted on Facebook or tweets on Twitter or even pictures on Pinterest, any place that you tend to have a free presence. Well, which ones had the highest number of engagement? And that means the highest number of comments or likes or shares, anything that tells you that people are noticing that post. Then what was the tone of that post? Were you serious? Were you humorous? Were you in one of your characters' voice? Who did it reach? Did it reach male, female? Do you know what age group it appealed to? Do you know anything about the people who engaged with that? What type of hobbies they have or what type of interest? When you determine that you're going to advertise, always try to use pictures or video. If you're using pictures, you want to use contrasting colors from the platform that you're advertising on. For example, Facebook is blue and white. So anything that stands out against that color is going to get people's attention first. As a matter of fact, the mind actually registers images faster than text. That's why you'll see most ads with a picture in it, even if the picture doesn't directly relate to the product. The mind also registers colors first. So vibrant colors is going to get someone's attention. Yes, you can use your book cover, and you should, but you should also use pictures that illustrate the backdrop of your book, or the characters, people that represent those characters, or something else that's going to get people's attention, cause them to stop in their news feed and take a look at what you're saying about that picture or that video. And if you don't have a book trailer, there is a video in this series with thenovelbusiness.com that will show you step by step how to create a book trailer at absolutely no cost. There are plenty of free pictures on the internet. As a matter of fact, one that you might want to visit is freeimages.com. And you can also develop your video at no charge using Windows Movie Maker or a number of other movie making software apps. You'll also want to send people somewhere to create that sale. So you're going to send them either to your website, and try not to send them to the home page, but to a specific page where they can purchase your book, or send them to a specific blog if you want to tell them more about your book, the inside story of why you wrote it. Before you advertise, make sure that your website or your blog is optimized for mobile, because now more than 50% of all online visitors will use either a smartphone or some type of mobile device such as an iPad or tablet. View your own website or your landing pages or your blog on a smartphone and a mobile device, as well as a desktop or a laptop, to see how it looks on all of those platforms. Now let's take a look at how advertising and the way that you pay for advertising has really changed. The old method of advertising was really more of a shotgun approach. For example, if you placed an ad in a newspaper, even today a print newspaper, you're actually paying for the reach of that newspaper. So for example, if they have 100,000 subscribers, you're paying for that. Or if they have 1 million subscribers, you're paying for that. Magazines can be targeted insofar as selecting the proper magazine for your book. For example, if you're targeting men in their 20s that are in the military, you would not want to place an ad in Good Housekeeping to try to reach them. Radio and television is also more of a shotgun approach. Yes, people tend to listen to radio stations that they like, whether it's instrumental or talk radio or left or right. Television shows, people generally watch those that they like, but think about the family watching a specific television program. Maybe you've got mom and dad there, and you've got several kids, or maybe they've got extended family over, and you're trying to reach one person in that room. Maybe you're trying to reach the lady of the house, or the man of the house, or one of the children. The others are not your target market. This is still part of the shotgun approach. Well, with targeted advertising, you are actually paying when you reach your specific audience. You don't place an ad on Facebook or Twitter and pay for the ad itself. What you're paying for is the engagement with that ad. So for example, you can choose to pay per click. If you have a button on your ad that says learn more and it takes you to a landing page, you don't pay for 1 million people to see that ad. You only pay for the several hundred who will click on the ad and go to your website. Another way to pay is per impressions. Now this is actually less money for each impression, but it can add up more quickly. And what you're doing is you're paying every time that that ad shows up on someone's screen. Well, how does it show up on that person's screen? It happens because it's targeting their browsing history. If you do not clear the cookies each time that you go into a browser such as Internet Explorer or Safari or Firefox or any of the others, then it's going to remember every place you've been to. So if you go on to Amazon.com and you're taking a look at clothing, then you go on to Facebook or Twitter or something else, you may see an ad for clothing that was exactly what you were just looking for or very close to it. It's because they're looking at those cookies. They're looking at your browsing history. They're accessing your computer to find out where you've been. Another way to pay is per engagement. Now on social media, this could mean someone likes your post, someone shares it, someone retweets, or they leave a comment. Anything that shows that they are engaged with what you have posted, you would need to pay for, and you determine which way you want to pay, per click, per impressions, or per engagement. Magazines and newspapers are also doing the same thing. So for example, if you're trying to reach your local audience, instead of placing an ad in a newspaper in print, you could also take a look at their online advertising, because that online advertising again goes back to the cookies. So it's not going to show your ad to everyone who goes onto that website, but only those people in your targeted audience. Well, why would you even want to pay for advertising when you can get online and post things at absolutely no charge? Well, the difference is your reach. Let's say you go onto Facebook and you create a post. That's going to reach your own followers. So if you have 1 million followers and that's plenty to sustain your book sales, then by all means keep posting for free. But if you want to grow your audience, that means that you have to step outside your circle, and that means that you have to reach people that you don't even know exist, and they don't even know that you exist. Advertising does that. Advertising reaches outside of your circle to those people that you would not ordinarily come across with your free travels. Well, is advertising worth the expense? After you advertise, you'll want to analyze the results. Did more people sign up for your email list or your snail mail list? Did you get more followers on your social platforms or your blogs? Do you have more engagement on your posts than you used to? One very nice thing about advertising on social media is you'll generally get an email that shows you what the results were. So you can see whether you reached 2 people last week with no advertising and 2,000 this week with advertising. You can also determine whether you've had more website visitors by going into your website's cPanel, or determine whether you had more blog visitors and are more people following you on your blog. Do not make the mistake of looking to see whether you had immediate sales that paid for that advertising, because as I mentioned earlier, most people will go into a sales funnel. Most people will learn about you and then want to know more about you, maybe even ask their friends if they have read any of your books, or maybe they've written it down on a piece of paper or on their notes in their smartphone, and the next time that they are in the bookstore, they're going to look for your book. So don't look at advertising the day that it ended and determine that it was a failure because you didn't get all those book sales. You may not know about those book sales until days or even weeks down the road. And if someone buys in a brick and mortar chain store, that goes through the traditional distribution channel. So it could be as long as 3 or 4 months before you know that the sale was made. So don't give up too quickly. Now, if you'd like to learn more about free marketing and promotion or low-cost advertising, the Novel Business does offer a course that has 52 weeks of marketing success. In each week you receive a video and documentation that shows you how to increase your book sales. Just visit one of the 2 links on the screen here to learn more. And this has been Advertising 101. My name again is Patricia McClellan Terrell, and I write under the pen name PM Terrell. And this video has been brought to you by thenovelbusiness.com.